Okay, ni hao, bonjour to the online world. So, in continuation to our discussion, I'm putting myself on mute. We will be doing some exercise in terms of smart contracts, particularly understanding electricity. Why electricity has to be understood, particularly from the standpoint view of this particular state or capital. The word capital is very important here. So I'm putting myself on mute. Then we are going to discuss in detail. If you have any questions, please ask questions related to our discussion so that I'm able to answer it. Otherwise, let's not get into that. But the synopsis of the whole understanding is to understand electricity bill, and perhaps understanding how this is related to gas fees on Ethereum and the others, because loads of data sets are being taken from here and then it is being used as an input to create the blocks, or I would rather say the equations, which honestly are very simple equations. I don't want to get into the equations per se, but I want you to walk through the understanding of electricity bills, gas. So we are just going to understand these two aspects, electricity bills and the gas aspect, particularly from the standpoint of New Delhi, because Delhi itself has abbreviations. So I'll just streamline this for the others to understand so that they can build their own sweet, short protocols around it and work around the stuff whereby, I mean, you can be a creator of this protocol, which is small in nature, for small nodes to be understood in a manner so that that node itself becomes bigger in terms of the real understanding. And the real understanding right now is really less, stating the fact that folks don't understand because that data is not being shared, or it's not a public ledger as such. So that needs to be discussed. So I'll putting myself on mute. We'll start the discussion in a while. Okay, so whatever I'm discussing right now, let's take it with facts, and maybe for next, if I have to calculate the number of hours, okay, let's take next 100 hours from whenever somebody is watching this and try and code that for the coding process to create the core protocol base layer. And then obviously we can give it nomenclature and whatnot. However, no IP is being filed for this particular understanding. Okay. So first of all, we are talking about New Delhi. New Delhi, the abbreviations for Delhi, New Delhi, generally has been DEL, D for, let's take D as data, E for, good question, E for what? Let's take elephant. Elephant in the room, right? That's what the lingo is, general words. So D for data, or rather, let's just take data as data. E for elephant, L for language. So the easy way out is DEL, data, E for elephant, L for language. Then if somebody is purchasing a vehicle, generally it is DL. Again, D is for data, L is for language. So we keep this perhaps as fixed. We're not changing this for next 100 hours. Now, let's understand the electricity distribution in Delhi, New Delhi. There's something called as BSES, Rajdhani Power, that is BRPL, which is covering South and West Delhi. Then we have BSES, Yamuna Power, that is BYPL, Central and East Delhi. Then we have North Delhi, we have Tata Power Delhi Distribution Limited. Additionally, we have DTL. DTL is Delhi Transco Limited. It's a state-owned transmission company. Then we have the regulator, perhaps for Malviya Nagar. It's based out, headquartered in Malviya Nagar, is Delhi Electricity Regulatory Commission, which is DERC. And if you're living in Delhi Cantonment area, so Delhi Cantonment area pin code is 10110010. I'm a Delhi Chavni girl. In terms of Delhi Chavni is basically the nomenclature of Delhi Cant in Hindi. So that was my primary school, Delhi area primary school. So that comes under NDMC, Luton's Delhi, or Delhi Cantonment area. The electricity is supplied by NDMC and MEES respectively, which is not the discounts. Except for NDMC and Delhi Cantonment area. Let's keep their bills aside and use that data set wherever possible to create that layer. And rest all, BSCS, BESS, whatever, the Tata and the others. Let's take the data, particularly from 1st of April 2020 till date, and the incoming as null and void. Absolutely null and void, nothing else. When this happens, I want to see something. Okay. So I want to give one data set. I got a very interesting data set. Okay, this is a very interesting data set of a pin code 110018. That includes Vikaspuri, it includes Chand Nagar, it includes Vishnu Garden, it includes Ashok Nagar, it includes Tilak Nagar, and the rest of the area. I'm not very sure what about the other areas as far the electricity is concerned. So this pin code is quite smart in terms of the data set. I wanted to discuss a particular. Okay, let's take this electricity bill. Great. So we know because of the ARP and the other governments, till a certain point, you don't have to pay any electricity bill if you're just consuming X number or Y number or any number of the actual units. So this particular bill is consuming 13 units. And this bill is generated for the time stamping of 2nd of August to 2nd of September this year, and 13 units, and the costing is 2.26 INR, which is equal to 0. So take it at 0. And okay, then I have another 2 units which I want to discuss to create a sample data set just to see how the input works. Is from the month is 7th month, the date is 4/2025 till 1st of August 2025. Unit consumed is 1. Then we have 17 units, that is before this month. Fifth day of June 2025 till 3rd of July 2025 is 17 units. So we have 13 units, 1 unit, so it's basically 13-1-17. Take it as a cycle whereby the equation has to be very simple in terms of 17 plus 1, then whatever we take is equal to 13. That data set can be used as an input data set, and of course I'm not discussing or disclosing anything about the impeller network, but it is always an ongoing process and there are zillion nodes working on it at any given point of time, and it's a global affair. That being said, we discussed about the electricity stuff, and the bad or the worst thing has been just because of the little bit understanding of the intellectual property protocols. I'm of the personal opinion that it has been mishandled, because that data has been given to other parties without the cognizance of the candidate who is the real owner of that data. So nothing is being shared in terms of the businesses which are being run by using that data, and that is the reason GDPR is very important to be deployed in the, at least with the government sector, which is, this is a PPP partnership definitely, but here government needs to intervene and it has to be GDPR compliant so that this data is not misused, because this data is being misused to create another reality altogether, which should not happen at the first place. So this is what electricity is all about. The other aspect I would like to discuss is the gas. Now gas again, okay, let's see the data set. So we are just taking Delhi data set, New Delhi data set. We are negating everything else. We are not taking NCR into picture, because then that data set doesn't even exist, because the planning itself was done in a manner which is not up to the mark, and because it is not up to the mark, the data set doesn't hold any value. Okay. So we have CNG and LPG prices with us. So if I talk about CNG, it has, okay. Okay, so we have domestic LPG. I need to know the vendors. Okay. Okay, for the LPG you can book through Indian, that is IOC. Then there's HP gas, then there's Bharat gas. And all three deliver same day in most Delhi pin codes, and that's why their KYC was done in recent past. So this is LPG. Then we have auto LPG. stations, which are 45. South and West Delhi density is the highest, which includes Mehroli, Vasant Kunj, and Janakpuri. Then we have Indraprastha Gas Limited, which is on Ring Road and Outer Ring Road near Punjabi Bagh, Vikaspuri, and Wazirabad. So these are the, you can say a kind of a periphery for Delhi from different aspects. Then we have NH 48 and NH 9, that is National Highway, Dwarka, Mahipalpur, Ghazipur border. Industrial areas is Narela, Bhawana, Okhla. I mean, these are just the outskirts. At one point of time, I'm not very sure, Mercedes was in Okhla. They had the showroom there. Okay, I'm not very sure the data I'm talking about. I haven't checked their prices. I'm not sure whether it's hallucinated data, but the data says that petrol is right now 94.72 per liter. Diesel is 87.62 per liter. CNG is 76.48 per kg. Auto LPG is 62.80 per liter. And that is why a lot of emphasis is being given on the sustainable aspect in the understanding of perhaps the electric vehicles and what not can be developed around it. But there is biofuel. I think I talked about it a few years back about Jatropa plant. That's a biofuel. A lot of, I would say, a lot of research was happening in Lucknow way back in the late 2000s. So I was in Lucknow for this event, which was a 5-day training, which included visiting the site of Jatropa plant and all. So honestly, I'm not working on that project right now, but I actually worked on something way back when I was supposed to give some kind of understanding of the biofuel sector in India. So this data, because somehow this data is being leaked to the other entities in other countries, and that is the reason you are seeing a lot of the gas fees has increased, right? So gas is, many people don't even understand what gas fees is all about, but it's very cryptic. However, for any of the blockchain projects, when we're talking about blockchain in reality, there has to be some solid backed input data, and that input data is kind of a lifeline for creating anything in terms of whatever protocols you wish to create. And it has to align with the ITU, which is International Telecommunication Union, headquartered in Geneva. They look into the protocols, and all these protocols are being developed. And recently our minister also talked about, so when I talk about minister, I'm talking about the real minister of our country, looking the telco part. And the good thing is the recommendations given by India is being accepted for the 6G and stuff, which is a very big thing. And honestly speaking, because of the few players and the stakeholders, India is not a developed country. India is not a developed country because of those stakeholders. Otherwise, India is already developed in many ways. The kind of diversity this country has, the kind of geographical indication we have, the kind of talent pool we have, and now after all this, whatever has been orchestrated over the years, the big dream, now India is at power in terms of, I asked a few of the people in the offline world, there was, particularly it was I think 14th of August. 14th of August, it rained like cuckoos. I mean something like on a regular day when everything is normal in terms of the good chaos, which is normal. So it's like 7 to 7.3 kilometers. The place I stay right now to the office, and that day took almost 4 to 5 hours, and we were stuck. And that day, that person, the driver, said that what progress has been done in last whatever years, that is commendable as compared to when India got so-called freedom. And that is one reason, as the candidates of this country, in terms of if somebody holds the passport, It's a very powerful passport, although it states that it's not as powerful as Singapore, but in many ways India is way ahead. It's just that giving so many people that authority just to travel anywhere, it will create that kind of chaos which the global scenario cannot handle. Otherwise, India is developed in many ways, and folks like us who are into blockchain for real, we are pushing an agenda item for special passport for people who are into blockchain for real, so that the real blockchainers can travel without the visa stuff and still hold accountability of having dual or multiple citizenship, because we live in a new world order that can always happen with the assistance of the different orders which are already present in the world right now. So that's my 25 cent of knowledge for today, and have a great day ahead. Next 100 hours, let's code and see how well we are doing in terms of developing the protocols which we are supposed to develop. Thank you for watching this out. Have a great day ahead.